Taiwan earthquake. Rescue teams search the mountains. Deadly storm kills 3 in China. Pellegrini wins Slovak presidential election. Magnitude 4.8 earthquake strikes Northeastern U.S. Chinese scientists create swarming drones. Japan's imperial family latest royals to join Instagram.
Hello, I'm Johnny. Thank you for joining us on Funday News. It's Monday, April 8th, and here are your top stories. Rescuers in Taiwan combed mountains for a dozen people still missing and airlifted others to safety on Friday as the death toll from this week's earthquake increased to 12. 2 more bodies were found in the mountains of Taiwan's eastern Hualien County 2 days after a 7.4 magnitude quake off the nearby coast that was the island's biggest tremor in 25 years. The quake damaged roads and sent rocks tumbling down mountains, stranding hundreds of people in Tarako National Park, an area popular with hikers.
Justin Wong, 37, a team leader at the Kaohsiung City Fire Department, said that rescue efforts have been complicated by the risk of further landslides and rockfalls, as well as intermittent rain. Aftershocks can still be felt every few minutes, numbering in the hundreds since Wednesday. Wong said time is crucial, as rescuers try to maximize the first 72 hours after the quake. According to the Central Disaster Response Center, as of Friday afternoon, there were 1,123 people injured, 634 trapped, and 13 missing. Hualien Mayor Wei Chia-yen said the missing included 3 foreigners from Australia and Canada. On Friday afternoon, demolition work began on a mid-rise building that was tilted at a dangerous angle after mostly collapsing in Wednesday's quake.
3 people died after typhoon-like winds pulled them out through their apartment windows in southern China as extreme weather battered the region over the past week. State broadcaster CCTV reported on Thursday that a total of 7 people had died in Jiangxi province since the exceptionally strong winds began on Sunday. More than 5,400 houses were damaged and 313,000 people were affected, of whom about 1,600 had to be evacuated to safety. According to the state-run Global Times, the Chinese Meteorological Authority issued an orange alert, the highest on its 3-tier warning system, on Tuesday, the first since 2013.
According to state media, one weather station picked up a wind speed exceeding the highest level of 12, equivalent to a Category I hurricane, while 29 others detected level 10 and 11 winds. Air conditioners were blown out of high rises in the city, while more than 2,000 trees were toppled. China has been hit by a series of extreme weather events in recent years. Last year was its hottest on record as it grappled with scorching heat waves that authorities said had arrived earlier and been more widespread and extreme than in previous years. At the other end of the scale, the country recorded its lowest ever temperature last year on January 22, when the town of Jintao in northeastern Heilongjiang province recorded minus 53 degrees Celsius.
Slovak nationalist left government candidate Peter Pellegrini won the country's presidential election on Saturday, cementing the grip of pro-Russian Prime Minister Robert Fico over the country. Fico, who took power for the 4th time last October, has turned the country's foreign policy to more pro-Russian views and initiated reforms of criminal law and the media, which have raised concerns over weakening the rule of law. Pellegrini had 53.26% of the vote versus 46.73% for pro-Western opposition candidate Iwan Korchok. Results from 99.66% of voting districts showed.
Slovak presidents do not have many executive powers but can veto laws or challenge them in the Constitutional Court. They nominate Constitutional Court judges, who may become important in political strife over the fate of Fico's reforms, which would dramatically ease punishments for corruption. Fico's coalition, which includes a party headed by Pellegrini, halted Slovak official shipments of weapons for Ukraine, and Fico has spoken about what he called Western influence in the war, which only led to Slavic nations killing each other. Pellegrini, 48, said his victory meant the government would have support in its aims and not face an opportunistic power center, about outgoing Liberal President Zuzana Kaputova.
A magnitude 4.8 earthquake shook the northeastern United States on Friday morning. According to the U.S. Geological Survey, the earthquake was felt from Boston down to Baltimore at 10:23 a.m. Eastern Time. In New York City, where tremors were felt for more than 30 seconds, there were no immediate reports of injuries or damage. But the quake triggered numerous delays and temporary closures of transportation infrastructure in the area. According to the USGS, the epicenter of the quake was detected about 45 miles west of New York City and 40 miles east of Allentown, Pennsylvania, in an area north of White House Station, New Jersey.
Earthquakes of Friday's magnitude are relatively rare in the northeastern U.S., and the intensity and duration of Friday's quake startled people across the region. The quake was the third largest recorded around the New York metropolitan region in nearly 75 years. The National Tsunami Warning Center said there was no danger of a tsunami on the East Coast after the quake. An aftershock with a 2.0 magnitude occurred at 11:20 a.m. Eastern Time in northern New Jersey. The USGS said there was a 46% likelihood of another earthquake of magnitude 3.0 or greater in the next week. New York Governor Kathy Hochul in a tweet said, "My team is assessing impacts and any damage that may have occurred, and we will update the public throughout the day."
Chinese researchers have announced the creation of an innovative combat drone, presenting a new paradigm in warfare technology. At initial observation, it bears resemblance to a standard Chinese DJI multi-rotor used in consumer markets. Yet, when it arrives in the designated combat drone, it remarkably transforms, splitting instantly into 2, 3, or even 6 smaller drones, adapting dynamically to the requirements of the battlefield. These segmented drones, although each equipped with a single propeller, maintain the ability to float and navigate with the same autonomy as a typical drone.
They are designed to intercommunicate and undertake distinct tactical functions such as leadership, surveillance, tracking, and assault, working in unison to fulfill the mission objectives. This development is spearheaded by Professor Shi Jiwei of the Nanjing University of Aeronautics and Astronautics, marking a significant advancement in drone air separation capabilities. This area has seen global research efforts aiming to enable drones to split while airborne efficiently and effectively. This advancement could revolutionize military engagements. Typically, when a cluster of drones is detected by enemy radars, defense strategies are deployed based on the perceived threat level. But, with the ability to suddenly expand, this new technology not only strains enemy defenses but also inflicts a mental shock, potentially debilitating the enemy's combat response.
In 1926, when Japanese Emperor Hirohito ascended the imperial throne, he was revered by millions of Japanese people as a living god. Almost 100 years later, Japan's imperial family, the world's oldest continuing monarchy, is sporting a very different look. His grandson, Emperor Naruhito, had vowed to bring the country's royal family into the modern age when he took over from his father 5 years ago. And now, the royal household has taken a very definite step into the 21st century. As of Monday, the family is on Instagram. The move comes some 15 years after Britain's royals first made their social media debuts.
Social media analyst Andrew Hughes notes, the Japanese were perhaps the last notable royal family not to fully engage the digital era. But it was an inevitable move. The family had made clear their wish to engage with younger generations and stay relevant, and given those subjects increasingly only get content through their phones, the family would also have to go online. But for those hoping to get a more authentic glimpse into imperial families' day-to-day lives, the 48-hour presence of the @kunaicho_JP account so far might disappoint. The gallery so far is pretty formal in tone, just a roundup of royal duties these last few months, public appearances, visits to museums, earthquake sites, and meetings in drawing rooms with royals from other lands.
The answer for April 2nd is C, abundance. We had wine in abundance. Did you answer correctly? Now let's delve into the news of deadly storm kills 3 in China. Number 1, batter. 连续猛击殴打. Severe winds have been battering the north coast. Number 2, grapple. 努力设法解决. The new government has yet to grapple with the problem of air pollution. Number 3, detect. 发现侦查. Do I detect a note of criticism? Next, we have a multiple choice question for everyone to practice. Which answer would you choose? You can write your answer in the comments section. The correct answer will be announced tomorrow. And that's all for today's Funday News. Be sure to tune in to Funday News from Monday to Friday and click the link below to join Funday for free. I'm Johnny Wu, your host. I'll see you next time.